I think he's like 40, which is like probably the biggest age gap I think I've ever read. Like 40 is like so old, but he's really hot. So like, anyway. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be filming another book recommendations video. I'm going to be recommending you guys books that are forbidden or taboo. I love reading these types of books. I think they're super fun, and I wanted to recommend some of them to you guys today. If you guys want to see a part 2 of this video, I can definitely do that because I have so many more. And if you guys have any recommendations for forbidden or taboo books, leave them in the comments below so I can read them because I'm always looking for more. Just want to quickly mention that if some of my uploads are, you know, late or not super consistent, it's because I just started back at uni and it's been hectic and crazy, and so I wasn't gonna upload a video this week, but I got some time today to film because I'm at uni 4 days a week and then I work the rest of the days, and so it's just like finding time to film and edit is a bit of a struggle, especially because we're getting so many assessments right now and it's just been like crazy. So I just wanted to mention quickly that if I do miss an upload or something like that, I'm really sorry, but I just like don't have the time. But YouTube is a priority for me, but uni is also a priority, so like I just working out a balance, and I'm going to pre-film a couple of videos when I do get a free chance, and then, you know, I'll have, you know, the time, because finding time to edit is not the issue. I can edit during my lunch break, things like that, but finding time to, you know, get ready and film is the issue that I'm having. But anyway, let's just get into the book recommendation. Okay, so we're going to start off with one of the lighter taboo books. It was one of the first taboo books I ever read, and when I read it, I thought it was super taboo. I was like, oh my god, like there's no way that that's happening. But now that I've read a lot more books that are in, you know, that category, this one is definitely one of the lighter ones and probably one of the ones that I would recommend starting with if you're looking to get into more forbidden or taboo romances. So that is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I absolutely love Penelope Douglas's books. I've read almost all of them and I love her writing, and this one is one of my favorites. It's stunning. So this follows Jordan and Pike, and basically Jordan and her boyfriend have just been like kicked out of their apartment. They don't really have anywhere to stay, and Pike says like, hey, you can come and stay with me, save some money until you guys can, you know, rent another apartment or buy another apartment, and all you have to do is, you know, like do some chores around the house and you don't have to like pay to stay here or anything. And so they agree, they go and stay there, and Jordan has never met Pike before because Caleb, I believe Jordan's boyfriend's name is, Caleb doesn't have a very good relationship with his dad, so he wasn't really around much during a lot of their relationship, and so Jordan has never met him, and she meets him and he is a very attractive man. But Caleb is an asshole, and so just wanted to preface that there is no cheating in this book. They break up before anything happens between Jordan and Pike, and this book is a slow burn. The tension between them is crazy. Oh my goodness, like the chemistry, the tension, they are like perfect for each other, and I absolutely love it. Pike Lawson is everything. And so yeah, they move in, and then, you know, things end up happening between Caleb and Jordan. They end up breaking up, and then Jordan continues to stay with Pike and things eventually happen. And yeah, it's so freaking good. The spice in this book is stunning. Penelope Douglas writes the best smut ever. I just love this book, and there is an age gap. She's 19 and he's 39, 38 I believe, so it's about like a 19-20 year age gap, which is like a big age gap, but I'm obsessed with Pike. It's everything. This book is so good, and if you guys are looking to get into the more like forbidden taboo books, this one's definitely the one I would recommend starting with. The next book that I'm going to be recommending to you guys today is Torn by Carrie and Cole. I read this one recently and it was so freaking good. So this follows Tornin and Kenzie, and basically Tornin is Kenzie's uncle. It's her godfather but she calls him Uncle Tor. Like ever since she's like was younger, she's been calling him Uncle Tor because, you know, she's grown up around him her whole life, and he's her dad's best friend. So that is the taboo aspect, and obviously the age gap. Like kind of not like raised her, but like was like her best friend, if that makes sense, because they were really, really close. She like absolutely idolized him, and they spent a lot of time together, and they kind of always loved each other. Then, you know, slowly as she gets older, they form a friendship, and that slowly turns into more. This book is a slow burn. The tension again between these two characters, crazy, and obviously it's her dad's best friend, and that creates a bit of a complication. Tor doesn't want to, you know, jeopardize his relationship with his best friend who he's been friends with since he was like 15, and Kenzie doesn't want to hurt her dad, but she also wants to go after what she, you know, what she wants and what she feels, and wants to follow her heart. And so there's a lot of like push and pull. Like Tornin is like, no, like nothing can happen, like I don't want to, like, you know, disrespect your dad, I don't want to get involved, like you're too young, like I raised you, like all these things. And he's like so conflicted, but Kenzie's like, I think that this is like fate, like we're meant to be together, like we're soulmates. And eventually, you know, things do happen between them. There's a lot of crazy drama because of the whole, you know, best friends with the dad situation, and it's crazy, but it's so good. And yeah, there's an age gap in this one as well. She's 18 and he's 34, 32, 34. I don't remember. The next book that I'm going to be recommending to you guys today is the Mindfuck series by S.T. Abbey. This one is so good, and this is between a serial killer and an FBI agent. So that is the forbidden aspect here. It's not like as crazy as the other ones, but it is definitely still forbidden and shouldn't be happening. Like obviously a cop shouldn't be dating a serial killer, and a serial killer probably shouldn't be dating a cop. But it just is so good. So this follows Lena and Logan. And Lena is a serial killer. She kills these awful men who have done terrible things, and we fully support it. These men are awful, and you slowly throughout each book, it's 5 books, but they're all like really short. They're all like under 200 pages, and they all are part of the whole series. And so you find out slowly what has happened and why she's killing all these men, and there is obviously a very big reason and a very valid reason. And yeah, she meets Logan, and she doesn't know he's an FBI agent at first, I don't think, and then, you know, like she finds out and she's like, oh my god, like I shouldn't be dating him, but they have this amazing connection and they, you know, are falling in love, but she's out killing all these people and he doesn't know. And yeah, it's a crazy roller coaster ride, but it's so freaking good and crazy, and I'm obsessed. Logan is everything, and I just loved this book and would definitely recommend you guys read it. The book that I'm going to be recommending to you guys today is Unconditional by QB Tyler. I read this book ages ago, but it's so freaking good, and this is about Cal and Maddie, and basically it's a relationship between Maddie and Cal, who is her legal guardian. There's no blood relation there. It's definitely pretty taboo, but they're not blood related at all. Basically, Cal found Maddie when she was very, very young, and she'd just been through this super traumatic situation, and he is a cop. He was the cop that was like dealing with the situation, and they found her hidden in a closet. He was the only one that she would let near her, but like they kind of had this like pull to each other, and she would only go to him and only talk to him and didn't want to deal with anyone else. And so he ended up looking after her for a period of time, and then he just couldn't, you know, put her in the foster system, and so he ended up becoming her legal guardian. As she grows older, she gets more and more attracted to Cal and starts developing these feelings for him, and Cal is kind of realizing that he's maybe developing feelings for her too, like when she's like 17, 18, and but he's like, I can't like do anything, like I'm a cop, I'm her legal guardian, like that can't be happening. There obviously is an age gap. She's 18, he's 30 something, and yeah, but their love and their like soulmate connection, it was like it's like fate that they met. Like, it's crazy. Like, the love that Cal has for Maddie is insane, and I'm literally obsessed. This book is so freaking good, and you definitely have to keep an open mind when you're reading it, but it's phenomenal. Okay, the next book that I'm going to be recommending to you guys today is Love Unexpected, also by QB Tyler. This book is a very, very taboo book, probably the most taboo book in this video, and it is a relationship between a stepfather and a stepdaughter. I know, just keep an open mind. I promise you this book is so freaking good. So this follows Dom and Starcissa. I think that's how you say her name. I actually have no idea how to say it properly, but something like that. And basically Starcissa's mum passes away, and Dom and her are both grieving, and they're both kind of lost. They don't really know what to do, and so they end up going on this vacation to like get away from everything and get away from her school, and he's the principal at her school, and they just want to, like, you know, get away and deal with everything that they have to deal with. And so they go to this little holiday house, I think it's Dom's holiday house in wherever, and they're staying there, and you know, they're kind of, it's forced proximity, and they're with each other all the time. Starcissa has always been attracted to him ever since she was little. He came into her class, and she was like, that's the man I'm gonna marry. Like, I'm gonna marry that man. I love him. He's mine. And then he ended up marrying her mum. And obviously she was like 5 or 6 at the time. It wasn't like a realistic expectation of what was going to happen. And so she ended up absolutely despising him, and they go at each other like it's enemies to lovers. Like, they argue all the time. And so when the mum passes away, they end up going on this vacation, and it kind of brings them closer together, like, as friends. And then Starcissa's obviously always been attracted to him, he's attracted to her, things are kind of happening, they're all like together, they want to, you know, move forward, but they don't want to, because, you know, obviously they shouldn't be together, but things eventually do happen. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this book's a slow burn. I don't remember, I read it a while ago, but I remember there being so much tension between them, and then finally, like, snaps and things happen, and it's so good, and I loved it. There is, of course, an age gap. Starcissa is 18 or 19, and Dom is like 40, I think. I think he's like 40, which is like probably the biggest age gap I think I've ever read. Like, 40 is like so old, but he's really hot, so like, anyway. But yeah, I love this book, and you guys should read it. And definitely keep an open mind. It's not for everyone, but I really enjoyed it. The last book that I'm going to be recommending to you guys today is Liar by Fiona Cole. This is the 5th book in the Voyeur series, and while I do recommend every single book in this series, this is probably the most taboo one. And yeah, you should read them, all of them, because the series is phenomenal, and if you read them in order, you kind of get like dynamic of everyone a bit better, but they're all standalones. They're interconnected standalones, so you can definitely read them by themselves. But Liar has a novella that goes with it, so you read that before you read this, and it's called Watch With Me, I think, and it's free on Kindle, and so you can just download that, read that beforehand, because otherwise you might be a bit confused about their first meeting and stuff, because that all happens in the first little novella. It's like 50 pages or something, and then you read Liar. So Liar is about Olivia and Kent, and you meet Olivia in the first book. She is the girl in the first book's best friend, and Kent is Daniel, who is Olivia's uncle. That's his best friend. So the forbidden aspect is that it is, obviously there's an age gap. She's like 21 and he's 30, like in his like late 30s, like he's like 38, 39, I think. And he has been best friends with Olivia's uncle for literally years. Olivia is super close with their uncles, so there's obviously that forbidden aspect. They don't really want things to happen with each other because they don't want to, you know, disrespect the relationship with Daniel. But one night they meet at the club Voyeur, which is essentially a club where you can watch live porn. basically. So there's like, you go into like a room and there's like one-way glass so you can see in, but the people on the other side can't see into the room, and you can go in there by yourself, with a partner, like whatever, and you pick what you want to watch and they'll like perform it live for you, essentially. And yeah, so you learn a lot about the club in the first book, and then the club is mentioned throughout all of the books, and the characters go there and some of them are workers from there and stuff like that. And the last book is about Daniel, the owner, and so Kent owns it is like Daniel's partner in the club, Lawyer. And so Olivia goes in there, she has just turned 21, so she's allowed in there, but Daniel's never really wanted her to be in there around all this stuff. And so she goes in there, she meets Kent, and things happen between them one night, and then... Hello, editing Shantelle here. I'm just gonna come in here and explain this a little bit better because I feel like I did a terrible job. Basically, they meet that one night at the club and then things happen between them, and it's meant to be like a one-night stand, it's meant to be a one-time thing, but they both kind of find themselves thinking about one another and wanting it to be more, and so then they kind of decide to see each other again, and it's only meant to be kind of like a no strings attached type of arrangement. But you all know how that goes. They're going to eventually develop feelings for one another, but it's still obviously forbidden. They shouldn't be doing it. One, because of the age gap. Two, because of Kent being Daniel's best friend and he doesn't want to like betray him. And like, yeah, it's a whole complicated situation. But yeah, kind of goes from there. It's crazy. So good. I'm obsessed with this whole series. I loved every book. So yeah, that is the last book that I'm going to be recommending to you guys today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and if you want to see more book recommendations for taboo books, let me know and I can definitely do a part 2. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.